Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, it's going to be a 2v2 Hydralisk level member game sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. This ally is trash, I'll take the L, and he leaves. Alright, so we're getting started fast here on Divergence. Top side, it's going to be Shatterstar. He is our Red Protoss player. His teammate is CyborgSurfer, a Blue Terran player. And in the bottom right, missing a player, it's MrHands. Oh boy. And his teammate, who just bailed, GGYO, who said he apparently played with MrHands before, did not like him, called him a noob, and then just left rather than playing with him. So MrHands, a lot of players would just be like, fine, and just GG out at this point. But no, not Mr. here. Definitely not. What he's going to do is take the income that's coming from his teammate here, the extra minerals, to make stuff faster than he normally could. There we go, throwing up 3 racks at the 1 minute mark. You can't do this with only your money, right? You have to do this with teammates' cash. I've done this before. In a 3v3 last month or so, I had my 2 teammates leave. Sometimes they do it without saying anything, and you're like, okay, bye. And then with their cash, I just made a hajillion speedlings, got the adrenal as fast as I could, and followed up with ultras and won. Gets a team of 3, and it was great. It was very fun. Anyway, what do we got here? CyborgSurfer going double gas. Shatterstar working on a 1 gas opener. Cybercore coming in at a minute 30. And yeah, so this is not Charlinium. Charlinium's not in this game, but his buddy here is MrHands. And Charlinium, because he is a Hydralisk level supporter of the channel, you can be like Charlinium by clicking the join button down below and choosing the Hydralisk level of support. It goes Zergling, Hydralisk, Ultralisk, Overmind. I think that's all the options right now. But yeah, and then it gives you the right to send me any replay once a month, and I will cast that replay. It doesn't have to be yours, it could be anybody's. You want me to cast a replay from like ESL or something from Home Story Cup or whatever, I'll do that too. Just request and we'll get it done. So this is a replay of his friends that he wanted me to cast, and this is it for February. So should be interesting. People don't send me bad replays for this. They don't want to like use their one-time monthly allotment on a game that just ends because somebody worker rushed and it was over in 3 minutes, right? So getting the gas for his teammate here, the teammate who bailed on him. He's using his workers. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Time out. Is this not? Yeah. There we go. There we go. Everything's fine. All right. So CyborgSurfer throwing up a second command center here. Stalker production has begun from Shatterstar off of 3 gates and 1 gas. And oh, it's Marauders. It's Marauders with concussive shell. He's got Marines coming in behind it with more Marauders and combat shield. All right, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be tough. Siege tank out. Pretty good answer to Marauders, especially defensively on a high ground position. Stalker's going to move out and just kind of get obliterated. I'm worried about these dudes. So here they go. Prepare to die, but you'll get some good information about what's going on, which is a ton of Marauders with concussive shells. So that Stalker's dead. These Stalkers leave their friends to die because they can't save him. Pull back to the siege tank. Get him. Ka-chow. Ow. Also, ka-chow. Ow. All right. So never mind. Our little attempt to assault this area is not going well for us. That siege tank is very well placed and very well thought out. So, gonna rally in over here. What's he gonna work on? Gonna work on nothing else. Just Marines and Marauders, I guess. He's gonna try to bust up this ramp with 2 siege tanks and 5 Stalkers behind it. At the very least, they're like, we can take down this base, but this base doesn't exist because they recognize there was going to be a lot of aggression. It's just, there's going to be a lot of aggression out of somebody in a 2v2 if one of their teammates leaves. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense for them to sit back and macro up a bunch. It's hard, especially at this level. It would be difficult to macro 2 separate players. You'll notice that GGYO hasn't expanded with the purple at all here. So really the best you can usually do is maybe get some gas. Saturating the gas is not required, apparently. But at this stage, 800 minerals in the bank, 200 gas, floating a bit, is throwing up a factory And he's like, well, if they're just going to sit on one base apiece, I guess we can roll with this. There is a gold base you can take if you knock down this debris. And another gold base if you knock down this debris. And at this stage, you've got siege tanks and stalkers. You might as well. Like, there's no need to expand outside where it is scary if you have 12 stalkers. Okay, 9 stalkers. Numbers are hard. Marine Marauder, maybe some medevacs would be good. He's making some starports, so I believe that is in his plan. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. Okay, here goes nothing. Marines, Marauders. Scans up, sees what we're dealing with, sees siege tank, sees widow mine, sees more siege tank, says, okay, not good. Is there an armory? So this is perma cloak widow mine? No, but CyborgSurfer could go for that if he wanted. Yeah, I like it. Just tossing up widow mines, getting up missile turrets, worried about drops, worried about liberators. Medevacs are in production, not liberators, but that's okay. Missile turrets can kind of handle both of those. And just kind of setting up shop in the center here. So, all right, 74 supply for MrHands, CyborgSurfer 68 and Shatterstar 44. So he's really outnumbered overall in supply right now. Worker counts 22 and 39 for Team Enemy and only 22 and 12 for Team South here. Team Good Guys. At least we are rooting for Team South right now because, well, it's the friend of someone who's a supporter of the channel. So can't really hate on him, can we? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's chosen his friends well. Yeah, MrHands going for a third base. Just really, this is all we get, apparently, from Purple. He could make some more SCVs. Oh, he took some SCVs to saturate the gases and did not replace them. I like upgrading teammates' bases to planetaries. Just because I don't want to pay attention to actually defending it. And a planetary, especially in the early game, can handle pretty much anything that shows up. I get upgrade it to a planetary, I get 2 turrets, I get high-sec auto-tracking, and then I just don't worry about it ever again. And they don't usually die, especially not in the first, 5 or 6 minutes, so... Yep, I'm playing Zerg. I'm trying to handle like 3 bases over here. I don't have enough time to work on a Terran base, too. For Protoss, it's just cannons and shield batteries. They provide the same thing. Zerg, doesn't really have that. Doesn't really have that option. Unless you make a bunch of spines, I guess. And a bunch of queens and some spores. Alright, Doom Drop in the future here for MrHands. Cyclones being added out from CyborgSurfer. Those are good units. Always, always good. Alright, boosting in. Ah! Take this! Unloads. He's got high ground on those stalkers. Oh no. Do we not have any splash damage at all? 7 siege tanks are the splash damage. That's the only thing that's going to handle these dudes. Oh, the stutter step is good. It is effective. Oh, gosh. So the army is gone for Protoss. He's gotten 18 probes. He's, no, you're being slowed, Cyclones. These Marauders have concussive shell. And the second base of the Protoss is dead. Easy peasy. And the third base of the Protoss is also dead. Did warp in some more stalkers, but 4 stalkers against the might of the Terran army, not going to work out. So Protoss is not in a good way. Protoss has a probe remaining. How is that possible? Oh, that's production. Has 4 probes remaining. I love this. And then he's like, I'm out. I don't know why. I seriously fly in here, drop on top of these tanks, and I think you've won the game. I do. You wipe out this, you wipe out all this, I think they GG out. Despite the fact that they have bases going down this left side, I think they GG out. So that'd be my recommendation here. Scan in, see what's going on. Yeah, there we go. Scan, just drop on those tanks. Okay, there are these tanks maybe you have to worry a little bit about, but I would not worry about them. There's 2. 2 siege tanks. Yeah, MrHands. He's like, let's do this. Boosting in, taking missile turret hits, landing on the siege tanks. Unloading into a bit of a tough scenario, but the landing is going pretty well. Shield battery overcharge coming up. Kill the shield battery. Kill the shield battery. The tanks are all dead. The Cyclones are trying to fight here. Not as much of the Terran army remains. Is there another? Or was another tank? That's right. So, all right. Let us make sure the Protoss is having the worst day ever. Cyclone. Ow. Cyclones don't want to fight against Marine Marauder. Look at them die. They're so squishy. Their mobility is their key. What are these guys doing? Okay, wandering into high ground siege tank again. Terran taking some hits. Cyclones boosting in. Oh, the missile turrets getting free hits off on these medevacs was big. No more healing, no more transportation for these guys. Macroing behind this is MrHands. He is firing up 2 Marauders and 4 Marines at a time. But he can do better than that. I think CyborgSurfer has got a Rainer spitting portrait, but it's gone now because the orbital is also dead. Really been over stimming, I would argue, at this stage. But my gosh, these Cyclones just really suck against Marine Marauder with stimming concussive shell. Widowmine tries to burrow. No, you're not. These veterans, 7 kills, 13 kills, 5 kills, 3 kills, 7 kills. Marines and Marauders overstimmed, I think, to the point you can't stim them anymore. They don't have enough HP for that. Siege tank shows up, everybody dies, but by golly, did they do some work here. Woo! All right, Shatterstar has effectively been knocked out of this game. 17 total supply, of which one of them is a Void Ray. Where is it? I don't know. It's hanging out over here, right in full view of where I was earlier. Caster blindness, man, it's a problem. All right. Have any additional barracks? No, just kind of rolling off of 4 barracks here. Floating, just consistently floating about 500 minerals and 1,300 gas. I would fully saturate this base. He is expanding again now, so that counts for something. But I mean, I like this from Team North. They are expanding down this left side, and this is not something that Team South knows about at all. There is no indication. He is scouting it now, though, so goodbye him. Finally recognizing, Shatterstar, not entirely dead. Cool, good information to have. He doesn't know about this base either. Mud is going to head down this bottom left and see what damage it can get done. Ooh, SEV's dead. My goodness gracious. This is problematic. Shatterstar going to lose his Nexus. Yeah. Oh, his workers. He's been working so hard. He's been working so hard, and he's... Ow. All right. Well, lost a bunch of probes, lost his Nexus. His main base is still alive, but that's about all he has going for him right now. And, oh, CyborgSurfer is trying to expand down here, too. So, nope. Definitely not. Not something we're going to allow, say, the troops of MrHands. He's at 112 supply. CyborgSurfer is doing all right on supply. He's got tanks, Cyclones, and 16 Widowmines, which you don't see that many Widowmines in TVTs, generally. Just because Marines, Marauders, and Siege Tanks and Liberators and stuff are great answers to Widowmines. But okay, I guess we're kind of turtling in here. MrHands expanded up that way. We saw that earlier. Thor's being added for CyborgSurfer. Not with the Marauder count we're seeing today. 16 Marauders for MrHands. Thors are not the answer to what is happening. That is a mistake. That is a mistake from CyborgSurfer, and I'm worried about him immensely. MrHands says, any ninja bases up here I should know about? No. No, there are not. No, there are not. You know what? Doom drops have gotten us this far. Let's Doom drop again, boys. And he does. He just unloads right on top of this siege thing that has really gotten some work done, but it's gone now. And just kind of continually, casually wiping out all the tech structures and a ton of warp gates here from Shatterstar. Shatterstar has rebuilt on that gold base behind. Oh, Void Rays. Just Void Rays and Thors. Really? That's what we're building today. No more stims required, guys. Let your medevacs keep up. Let them catch up. Widow Mines! Woo! All right, I take it back. Widow Mines got some work done there. Siege tanks too, man. Yo! Okay. All right, man. Protoss not having the best day at all here. He's effectively, he's knocked back to before the game started. Is what is happening. Worker count not like skyrocketing for MrHands here, but I feel every one of his attacks are getting some work done today. Right? I think every one of his Doom drops has gotten some serious work done. He hasn't just lost everything. Turrets chasing this away. $127. CyborgSurfer at 171 supply, but again, it's 14 siege tanks. Ah, MrHands got some of his own siege tanks out. That's wonderful. Yeah, siege tank beats planetary, historically anyway. So the repair's good, but how long can you repair? CyborgSurfer sitting on 1,500 minerals. You can jump on this. You've got 2-2 upgrades and stim. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be pretty by any stretch, but you'll get the job done. Yeah, planetary dead. Reinforcing Thors and siege tanks show up, and MrHands has recognized, yeah, that's not great, actually. Oh, but siege tank, the Thors are fighting siege tanks and Marines and Marauders, and they take one of the tanks down, but all the Thors are now dead. Oh boy, CyborgSurfer losing everything. By that I mean he still has 3 Thors and 8 tanks, so he's not dead. He didn't respond with everything that he had. SCV count is 55, and it's gonna go lower now, assuming MrHands finds out where these SCV. Oh, he almost let them go. He almost let them live. If you can believe it. Okay, so CyborgSurfer is on 1 mining base. We'll give him credit for this, I guess, at 1.5 mining bases, maybe, if we're feeling generous here. 117 to 143 supply. Assaulting up this ramp, though. Ugh. Widow Mines trying to find targets. The range. Oh, that guy fired after he was dead. That one fired before he was dead, and he's not actually dead now either. Puts a siege tank in the front. Says the enemy's making siege tanks. I will bring my own siege tanks to counter. Not supply blocking CyborgSurfer. He's got a ton of supply, man. Ton of it. That is a planetary and 1 siege. Okay, 2 planetaries and a siege tank. Should be breakable, and it is. Very nice. Let the Thors attack into your tanks if they want. Vikings. This is actually decent micro out of CyborgSurfer. Flying the Vikings in to get hits off on the medevacs, but not just flying them into the Marines. And pretty good here, yeah, from both players, really. Backing up, not just A-moving into a meat grinder, right? Recognizing, okay, attacking into this position would be suicide, so let's not do that. MrHands, still producing Marines, Marauders, siege tanks. His medevac count seems pretty good. Could maybe use some Thors of his own. But his Marine count's good enough to chase those guys away anyway. Widow Mines getting some connections, kind of going for it, sort of. But that's it. The cash, okay. This base exists from CyborgSurfer. Shatterstar is building Void Rays with the money he's got off of the 2 gold bases. So, nope. It's not gonna work. Not gonna work particularly well. Nice. Sneaking in here. Widowmine's really thinning this out. Reinforcements show up. Tanks getting wiped. Are there enough? Are there enough? Enough units here for MrHands to win this thing. Oh my gosh, he's building a carrier. Shatterstar says, I'm on 2 bases. They are both gold bases, which is sweet. Let's build a carrier. Shatterstar, if he was a little bit better, I think this game might be over. If he knew how to make things like Colossus or Immortals, or maybe even Disruptors, which is a lot to ask, I guess, at this level of StarCraft, then they'd be doing much better against MrHands here in a 2v1 scenario, but instead he keeps making Void Rays and carriers, and look at the Vikings that MrHands has tossed out anyway. Like, it's just... Even without the Vikings, the carrier was not a good idea with this many Marines with 3 attack and 2 armor, and medevac support and stim. You fly enough interceptors from 1 carrier over that group, and everybody dies. All the carriers die. Liberator down. Vikings being kited a little bit, sort of. Oh, yep. Gotta be careful with that board. This is, again, it's not perfect micro, but it's a higher level micro than I was kind of expecting from the rest of this game. APMs aren't killer. It's an average of 142 for MrHands, 96 and 72 from Cyborg and Shatterstar in respective. Widow mines are free. Oh, gosh. Well, they scouted out where MrHands was, that's for sure. 152 to 162 supply. This might just be too much. This might be the end of the match here. Wow, just goes into siege tanks here with his own unsieged tanks, his Marines, his Marauders. Vikings firing away at the enemy Vikings. Abject chaos on here. Planetary Fortress goes down. Siege tanks taking hits from other siege tanks across the way. Army value down under 100 here from CyborgSurfer. This one siege tank is all that stands between CyborgSurfer and Oblivion. He's got 14 kills, but he GG's out, and that's it. Shatterstar is not getting this done with his 2 Void Ray 2 carrier army. I'm sorry. Actually, CyborgSurfer GG'd and then did not leave the game. So he's like, wow, I've still got money here. I'm going to drain all of my money trying to repair this orbital that, well, eventually it's going to go down anyway, I guess is the larger problem here. High ground siege tank. CyborgSurfer GG's out. And then keeps fighting. Come on, man. You can't say GG. And then keep fighting. Boo. Boo, I say. Man. I'm not going to say that MrHands is going to win the next ESL tournament or anything, but he knows how to make Marines, Marauders, Vikings, medevacs, and siege tanks and use them pretty effectively, right? We gotta go back to the well. We must go back to the well of doom drops, everybody. And guess what? Protoss gonna feel the pain again. Shatterstar's rebuilt his economy back up to 42 probes today. But at the end, it's not enough. Alright, Interceptors, do your thing. Do your thing, Interceptors, with no attack upgrades at all. 0 attack Interceptors. It's more carriers than I thought, actually. The Vikings all dead? I think the Vikings might all be dead here. Yeah, see those Interceptors getting just 3, 2, 1, 0 Interceptors remaining. Carriers without Interceptors are dead weight. Shatterstar has 59 supply, but no, he does not. Not with those 0 Interceptor carriers, friends. Freaking CyborgSurfer is still fighting. Cannot believe he's still fighting. Shatterstar is supply blocked and further supply blocked. Carriers again not providing the value that he hoped that they would. Interceptor count wiped again. Yeah, this is just, that's it. Shatterstar's Lost his entire base. Got enough money to rebuild interceptors for a while. But just lost all of the Stargates and the fleet beacon, and might just be knocked out by virtue of buildings dead. Shatterstar GG's and says, you're good. He doesn't have any buildings left, but he's in a team game. Why did he not like you in the beginning? It's a good question. Again, he's not Maru, but this is some solid Terran play. The Doom drops. Just consistently good here. I do like that CyborgSurfer's building planetaries and tanks to deal with this. On some level, we're still doing this, guys. 2,000 minerals, 1,000 gas in the bank. And the carriers did manage, with the help of some siege tanks and planetaries, to shove away MrHands again. So now Shatterstar and CyborgSurfer have GG'd. And yet, have they left the game? Army is 17 Marines, 3 Marauders, 4 Siege Tanks, 4 Vikings. I like that he set up tanks here at the little staging ground that MrHands has been using all day. Because if you want to set up here again, you're going to have to deal with Siege Tanks. Mon ami. Oh, the carriers are on a rampage. Shatterstar has no buildings. All he's got are these carriers. But he's using them with their 0-0 upgrades to burn down this orbital, by golly. Yeah, the macro of MrHands is not good either. Honestly, at this point, with all the bases he's got, he really should be maxed out. He should be on more than 24 SCVs. Although, to be fair, he just lost his base. But the Viking... Oh, okay. Well, he can't recall, and that's it. Shatterstar tapped out. He was trapped in this corner. Kind of put himself here, to be fair. Are the Vikings all dead? I think the Vikings all died. But finally, Shatterstar gets removed. We are now back on a TVT scenario. Expanding again, CyberSurfer. Expanding, muling his face off. CyborgSurfer. Wow. So finally, at the 27-minute mark, this turns into a 1v1, a TVT of all things. But considering there were, 3 Terrans and a Protoss in this game, that it's ending with a TVT is really no big surprise at all. Widow Mines doing Widow Miney things. Widow Mines up. No! SCV's up. Also no. Okay, that hurt. That really hurt CyborgSurfer's ability to win this game. This orbital has provided almost no value here outside of mules for a while now. And, okay, I guess we'll just march up here. Kill your starports that are trying to produce more Vikings, but probably not going to get these 3 out, I would say. Nope, definitely not. Viking count is too heavy for MrHands right now. Siege tanks, high ground. Widow Mines, high ground. MrHands says, we're out. Pulls back. He could head down to the bottom left and try to wipe those bases out. He is sending some Vikings on a recon expedition. One base down. Planetary rickety rolled. More SCVs dying here. 29 workers for CyborgSurfer. Sending some Marines down to try to defend this spot. No, these are actually other blue Marines. This base is dead. All of these mules are dead. And economically, CyborgSurfer not in a good place. He's got 4,000 minerals and 2,700 gas. He can still continue to produce things like, well, he's building command centers and Hellbats. And a +3 vehicle and ship plating and infernal pre-igniter. I'm not sure Hellbats are going to be that good against a siege tank marauder. Excuse me, Marine ball, but hey, it's all good. He's turtled on up here. He says, I can win this game if MrHands tries to suicide up this ramp and loses everything 4 times. Then I will be victorious, because otherwise this economic situation is not going to work out for me in the long run. Some liberators here would actually be pretty sick. Are you going to load up again? Yep. Is a Doom Drop going to be enough this time? I'm worried. It's a lot of tanks up there. There are 20 siege tanks on that high ground. MrHands is like, ugh, you know what? I've got him contained. Let's max out. Honestly, I would recommend Liberators in this situation so hard. Honestly, there's 2 Vikings. You make 5 Liberators, go boink, 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 boink. And I think you just win. Use your own Vikings to cover them from the enemy Vikings, right? You've got those, though. Just kidding. You have 1 Viking left. Never mind! Oh, snap. Here comes CyborgSurfer. Going traditional mech here. Hellbat, Siege Tank, Thor. Of course, there aren't any Thors, but it's close to traditional. Okay, drops over here where the tanks are not, wipes out another attempt to get money here from CyborgSurfer. And the number of orbitals that have died today is high. It doesn't track that for us in team games. I wish it would. Repair it, repair it, repair it, repair it. It provides a lot of income for you through mules. Okay, we don't. Comes up the ramp, takes some siege tank shots, goes through a little narrow choke, and then backs out of the little narrow choke and says, no, let's not do that. 'Tis a silly place. He's killed, I want to say, 10 orbital commands today and like 8 planetaries. CyborgSurfer has been producing orbitals and planetaries non-stop. Oh, siege tank shots are so strong here. Armory down. Hellbats okay, they did manage to... Ooh, you know what? Fair enough. Hellbat's kind of cleaning that up. MrHands down to 86 supplies, building battle cruisers. I mean, that's kind of Liberators, I guess. Why is he not making more battle cruisers? This is bad, actually. Army value is favoring CyborgSurfer by a lot. 6,000 minerals, 3,700 gas to 2,700 minerals, and only 1,400 gas of army value and supply for MrHands. So he's down. CyborgSurfer says income is important. So let's make sure we have something over here. He's got enough money to build here too, but not enough resources to make it worth it. So yeah, he's just going to long distance mine from there. I would honestly probably try to expand. Re-expand down here. Oh, another base for MrHands. That's good. Just because I'm not sure that MrHands is consistently scouting those locations. You can maybe get away with it, is what I'm thinking. This has been a very comfortable place for MrHands to hang out today at this Zelnaga watchtower. I thought maybe this was an attempt to expand up here, but is it bait? He's like, come kill these Hellbats. The siege tanks will protect them, and then that didn't happen, actually. All the Hellbats died. So bad. Vikings, oh, air superiority. Oh, no. The Viking count is higher from CyborgSurfer now. He's building more battle cruisers. He's getting Yamato. He's super expanding up in these corners. Has he never taken this base? No. How about this one? Yes, there was a base there at some point. And CyborgSurfer has not really been able to move out for 25 minutes. Maybe ever? I mean, Shatterstar moved out with his carriers, but I don't... think CyborgSurfer has really left his side of the map at all today. He's been doing scans, so like he knows what's going on. But he hasn't really gone on a field trip, you know, or a road trip. Send a Hellbat, drop out. Okay, that's an option. You have air weapons level 1 coming in from MrHands. No, actually, air attack upgrades for CyborgSurfer at all, despite the fact that he's making Vikings, which he should do at this stage. This is incredible. CyborgSurfer is holding on by a thread right now. He's got 7 SCVs remaining to 37 workers for MrHands. Look at this. CyborgSurfer's like, you never took these gold bases that were available to you? Okay, bye. I thought for sure you'd have these bases. And no, MrHands prefers to have regular bases that are eons away from his main so that they're harder to defend and don't have as much value associated with them. But, I don't know, battlecruiser count's looking okay. There's 5 of them. He's making 3 more. Battlecruisers are very heavy on supply, so maxing out on BCs doesn't take that long. Okay, so he's going to Yamato down. Oh my gosh, the Vikings. There are too many Vikings for you to Yamato all of them down, but he knows he can jump out if he gets in trouble. Trying to thin out these tanks a little bit. Fighting. Oh my gosh, jump, 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 jump. Not going to jump. Not going to jump. Too late. Too late to jump. And it's too late to apologize, too. Vikings, SCVs, command centers. Where is his orbital going? Is he going to land over here? That would be funny. That would be really funny if he landed here and started taking this money from MrHands' base. Holy smokes, that'd be entertaining. Oh, just as MrHands decides that he's going to clear these debris and build a base of his own back here. That's fun. That's funny. Just thanks for clearing that out, he says. I might land here and start muling from it myself. That would be amazing, actually. Only got 3 orbitals left. Can't quite ultra mule like he did on this base a while ago. And this base is back, by the way, because again, I was going to say, MrHands is not consistently checking this area, but he is now. Using battle cruisers for scouting is a terrible idea. But if you're trying to sneak them along the southern half of the map so you don't get scouted as you're on your way to attack somebody, it's not a bad idea. So this way you get scouted, but at least you found a base. Good. The battle cruisers ponderously move. Wiping out a couple SCVs, as you do. Viking count heavy. Battle cruiser dies. Yamato's getting some connections on those Vikings, but there are still so many Vikings jumping out with an injured Viking. Just trying to stay in here to kill as many tanks as possible before you're forced to teleport out of there. Not given a lot of time to do that. He killed one tank, he kills another tank, he kills another tank, and gotta jump, and he knows he's gotta jump. 147 to 124 supply. Resources lost here, man. 21,000 for Shatterstar, 49,000 for CyborgSurfer, and 45,000 for MrHands. Scraptastic. Neither player has been maxed out today at all. MrHands decides it's time to go into Cyclones to try to counter this army. The tank count has been reduced, and there's 18 tanks, so I would not say that the tank count has been reduced. Oh, he did it! He did the thing! Oh, but these mules are very fresh, and they're all going to die. Oh, that's a lot of energy that CyborgSurfer was risking. He wasn't able to get it all. Not even close. But siege tanks beat planetaries, as we all say. Yeah, this game is bonkers. Can the Vikings cover against the remaining 11 battle cruisers would be the question. Oh, got his own Cyclones here too, this CyborgSurfer. Wait, was he going Cyclones the whole time? Maybe I was misreading the production tab. We're at 40 minutes into this game. Oh, that's a jump sound. Surprise! Whoa, the Vikings get Yamato to death. CJ's get wiped out. He saves one of his bases, but not the other one. And he's on the rampage. He's got 3 armor on these guys. Nope, 2 armor on these guys, and 1 attack. Widow Mines connecting on battle cruisers, not ideal. Not generally ideal, but sure, we'll eat them. Calls down some mules for repair purposes, I have to guess here. And that's it. GG! The Medivacs flying to die, and MrHands is the winner, giving a win also to GGYO, which is hilarious. GGYO hates him, and he gave him a win. What a nice guy. What a nice guy he is. Wow. 40-minute 2v2 that turned into a 1v1 for the last, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. That was nuts. It was a 2v1, then it was a 1v1, and then somebody had to win, and MrHands totally did. Resources lost. 55,000 for CyborgSurfer and 48,000 for MrHands. 45 tanks died today. He had 12 remaining and 2 Vikings, but not really enough to handle this many battle cruisers on the field of 10 for MrHands. 3 battle cruisers did die. He lost 30 medevacs too. Wow. Wow. 30 medevacs died. I guess that's when you're doom dropping, that's going to happen. 8 Thors went down. The 7 carriers, 16 stalkers, and 4 void rays of Shatterstar went down too. Amazing. Really, really crazy 2v2 that turned into a 2v1. Tons of fun. And thanks again for setting that in, Charlinium, and congratulations to MrHands for getting the win. All right, neat. So guess what? That's going to be it from me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.